Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey.
Yeah, we're dancing.
It is. I mean,
this is why you gotta watch that video feed, guys.
It was a very maniac episode for one of the characters today.
That's why we played the song. That's the connection.
We always try to find connections to all this stuff because it's all connected. Welcome to the Playing House After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV.
Hey guys.
This episode is Employee of the Month. I'm James Lott Jr. and I'm joined by
Patrick Fisackerly.
That's right. Where can they find you?
Where can they find me? Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Fisackerly, Fisackerly.
That's on Twitter, and I'm Black Hope LA, BLAKHOPELA on Twitter, the tweeting machine.
Yep.
The tweeties.
I love Twitter.
I actually like Twitter now.
But you didn't like Twitter before?
For a while, I went through the boring stage for a while, and then when celebrities started really coming on, then it became fun again. And then my friends came back onto Twitter.
Oh, I enjoyed the early days of Twitter where it was just like the celebrities or actors who decided to use Twitter became like Twitter celebrities for a bit.
Yes.
Like Greg Gurenberg.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Greg Gurenberg. Yeah, Gurenberg. He was on Heroes and everything. Yes.
Yeah. He's in everything J.J. Abrams has something to do.
Yes, and Alias. Of course, I love Alias.
And Felicity.
I didn't watch Felicity.
Oh, it's good.
And I know all about it, but I heard she cut her hair and all that crap. But I was an Alias fan. I was such an Alias fan every week.
Yeah, also J.J. Abrams, right?
Yes, J.J. Abrams, of course. Speaking of strong women, this episode, actually yesterday I saw on Twitter, a lot of the fans, because I hadn't seen the episode yet, were tweeting how much they loved this episode, how it reminded them of friendship.
Well, I think the whole series reminds me of friendship.
I know, but for some reason it struck a chord yesterday.
Well, there is that beautiful scene with the crying, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we will talk about it
when it's time.
So we see what I know, right?
We don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
No, we don't. We have a pacing that has to happen.
There's a structure to this.
Exactly, just like the show.
Exactly.
There's a pacing and a
Act
structure.
1 of our podcast is right now.
Yes, and it opens with them with Maggie, Emma, Maggie, and cute little Charlotte planting succulents.
That's right. You can never have too many succulents.
You never have too many succulents. Especially in California, that's all we can plant.
I don't know if you've noticed, my way of handling this podcast is just quoting my favorite lines from it.
I like that, actually.
You can never have too many succulents.
No, you can't, as I said. And then, of course, there's Mark, because fresh from his I'm going to divorce your girl, which I know you're not going to say her name.
Yeah.
Tina.
Bird Bones.
Tina.
Sorry, Bird Bones is all I got. Literally, and I'm not kidding, because she's at the end of the episode for a second.
Yeah.
I was looking down when she showed up, and you went, "Oh, there's Tina," and I was like, "Who's Tina?"
See, you guys watch and listen to this podcast. You know he always calls her Bird Bones. I'm like, she's Tina.
I was like, which one's Tina? I was like, oh, Bird Bones. It's Bird Bones.
Yeah, it's so funny. So Mark is running, like you said, it's like his 16th time around the house. He's
dressed like Bradley, what's his face?
From
I'm thinking of the other Bradleys. It's not
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. I was like, it's not Bradley Whitford from The West Wing. It's a different one.
Bradley Cooper from Silver Linings Playbook. And he's wearing his outfit, and he's like, and obviously he stops in front of their house and does these manic running and pushing and grunting.
He wants to be seen. It's like when you're, you just want attention, but you don't want to say you want attention. You want someone to reach out to you.
Yes.
So he was doing that very obviously. He was running around their house over and over, and finally they decided, but we have to say something to it.
We got to, because they always want to help.
Well, that's their way.
That's their way. They always want to help.
Especially Maggie.
I know she always.
Maggie's very nurturing and helpful.
She is.
Which comes into play.
It does.
Guys, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. We mentioned this already. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves.
We're going step by step.
Step by step, one at a time. Sorry.
Yes.
We'll get there.
It's going to tie together. But then Maggie is a through line joke that she watches Steve Harvey.
Oh, Emma, you mean?
I mean, sorry, that's what I meant to say.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's
Emma.
Okay. Emma watches Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, and tries to talk like him when she's giving advice.
Which sounds a lot like this. Oh, you have to stop me.
Yeah,
that's your job now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your job.
Don't do it.
That's your job as the other person in the room is to tell me to stop.
Yes. It's like, stop it.
Oh.
Just stop it.
Okay. See, that was good.
So that's basically what they were. The big kind of joke off and on through the episode was that she was trying to speak like Steve Harvey.
Well, she just wanted to quote him and give advice.
Right. But she used his voice.
And she wanted to use like his sort of folksy way of speaking.
Yes.
Which did not sit well with Mark.
No, I know that was funny too. And he's like, "That's okay. Just
write it down.
Yeah, write it all down for me." That was kind of funny. And again, how they picked. I mean, again, the script is so funny because they pick things. I mean, seemingly just topical, random things.
Now, Steve Harvey, I don't know a whole lot about Steve Harvey.
Yes.
I know he hosts Family Feud, but he also has a talk show like that's
okay, let me give you a 30-second tutorial.
Please. We can take a break and talk about Steve Harvey for a while. Guys, you don't know this, but we started a little late, and while we were waiting to start, we talked about Tyler Perry for a half hour.
About a half hour, yeah.
Yeah, so
we're ready.
Yeah,
we're on.
So we can talk about whatever you guys want, but let's talk Steve Harvey.
Really quick, Steve Harvey actually wrote a book.
Yeah, Think Like a Man.
Yeah, which I actually read. It was really good.
I saw the film.
Well, okay, the film was whatever. The book was really good.
I saw the feature film.
Yeah, the book was really good. I recommend it to like half my female friends to read it.
The other half, no thanks.
The other half were like, we're good.
You can't have it.
Yes, we're good. And then he got the talk show out of that kind of. So then he has this talk show, Steve Harvey Show, which
so
is
he
actually
got a movie and a talk show out of this book.
It's an Emmy-winning talk show.
Good for him and his suits.
So, and it's always in a suit. Has that mustache, always in a suit. So anyway, so he's become this kind of guru about talking about relationships.
So is that what the show's about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a regular talk show. He has people guests on there. He helps people. Yeah.
So it's just like a Oprah-like show.
And what she says, since Oprah went off the air.
Oprah went off the air, Steve Harvey is her thing now.
Yeah, because he's kind of like that. He's not like the trashy. He doesn't do trash. He's a little about elevation.
But he's very conservative, right?
Kind of,
like he shifts, like his advice is very... like it's more conservative than say I am.
Yes.
Based on what I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And based on what advice is told in the film Think Like a Man.
Yeah.
Starring Kevin Hart and others.
So that's why it's funny they brought him up. Yeah. So it's like that's just a random kind of okay, sure, why not? And so they bring him in and they introduce him to DiGiorno Pizza, which we thought might be the
Yeah, well I think now that I know that Xfinity was our tie-in this week, guys, if you're playing along at home, every week we try to find what the main product integration is in Playing House, and this week it was Xfinity.
Yes, it was.
Because you can apparently talk into the remote control, and that's the way that they like to do technology.
It was kind of weird because you have to like turn like in a microphone and talk into it.
Yeah, I found it very awkward. Like I would never do that.
Right.
I mean,
they should have technology where you can just talk at the TV and say,
yeah. It seems like you put a microphone like in the receiver of the.
So, but they did a cutesy.
Look, Xfinity doesn't sponsor us. We can do it. We can say whatever we want.
But they did a cutesy commercial.
Yeah, as
they always do as their characters. So it's kind of like an extra skit. What's it kind of like actually? Yeah, for the show, you get like a half-hour.
And
show
I like the way that we had Mark watching with his Xfinity remote and ordering Murder, She Wrote.
He went back to the Murder, She Wrote riff.
Yeah. Which is funny.
I love that.
And a really great joke about how, was it Cabot Cove? Is that the name of the place? Cabot Cove is a safe place. Nothing ever happens there. And
then she's like, but there's a murder
literally every week.
Every week. I love that line.
Yeah.
But I love that he went back to Murder, She Wrote. And he was going between two episodes. Remember the last joke was...
It was something about the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, but he was like various states. He was like, it was like on various states of Murder, She Wrote on his DVR. Like he kept watching one and then watched another. It was like, I love that he went back to that.
I get it. It'd be Matlock for me if I was like that.
Hey, Matlock.
I watched a little Matlock when I was younger. Oh, yeah. Because I liked Andy Griffith, so...
Yeah, no, Matlock, he was the male kind of equivalent, kind of.
Yeah, I like that he had one suit. That's kind of all I remember. He had one suit, and he was a lawyer.
Yes.
And I remember when I was a little kid, I solved the mystery, and my mom was like, that's not it. And then at the end... It was who Matlock was defending was the one who really did it. And I said, I think it. And she was like, no, Matlock only defends the good guys.
See?
And
it was in his contract, I'm sure.
Yep. I knew right then and there I would be a writer. Because I was ahead of Matlock.
Hey, there you go.
Where are we? Playing House?
Yeah, we're going back to Playing House.
Okay.
But anyway, so he's eating the pizza.
Right.
And then he decides suddenly that he needs to fix things.
Yeah, the faucet first.
First the faucet.
Not a third world water pressure.
Right. It's one of those faucets you just kind of go under and the water comes on. He said the water pressure is really bad. I'm like, no, it's not.
Can't get the germs off.
Yeah. So he decides to do the manly thing and fix things for him. So they as friends allow him.
Well, they don't even care about the water. They just want him to get his energy out.
Which, again, this episode, has so many layers to it like they always do. It's a comedy. There's some slapstick in it. But then there actually is... That's what a friend would do, right? If you're going through a tough time.
A good friend. I'm not sure if I'd do it. I don't know if I want someone to hang out at my house and fix things.
Aww. But on another level, it could be something else that you would be there for your friend, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, I like to be there for friends. I just don't want them in my home.
Yeah, good. There you have it, kids. If you're friends watching, stay outside.
Stay out,
have your
friends.
Problems outside.
My friends don't watch this.
They don't watch this. They're like, we don't watch it.
No one I know watches this. Stay out, though. Stay out.
Yes, we're going to treat this all out to all your friends. Make sure they watch this episode.
All you guys.
All two of you. And then...
I have a many friends.
You have a many friends?
I have a many friends.
Okay.
A many. A many friends.
I have a lot of friends.
No, I have a many friends. They're all very small.
Really small. They're all four-legged.
They're all mini friends.
Yes. So the other storyline basically is, which is the title of the episode, Employee of the Month. It's at Rosies.
Right.
Where Emma works. And so we forgot in the beginning of the episode, I did mention something like why she needed to go there because I didn't catch it. If anybody at home catches it, please, tweet us, write a comment.
We could have Googled it.
I guess we could have, but we just didn't. But it's just like she mentioned, like you're working there because you're not working blank, and I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I for some reason have no recollection of her job before working there.
Me neither. From last season or anything. So
I just remember her being pregnant.
Right. Because home working back to town, and she was pregnant. That was the whole thing.
Yeah,
she was married and pregnant. So anyway, so she's working at Rosie's, but she's kind of over it.
Yeah, she doesn't love it. She doesn't love singing the birthday song with the Shoops.
Oh my God, I love the birthday song. I love it. Because, of course, Marissa Jarrett Winokur, of course, is a Broadway star, former Broadway star.
Nice little inside joke about her wanting to move to New York and become a Broadway star.
I hate New York. Oh, and also, so she gets to sing every night. And it's like, and she has a great voice, obviously. But it's all about Employee of the Month. Now, what happens is she gets her boss,
Matt Walsh,
who I love from Veep.
Yes.
And who was hilarious this episode also, actually gives it to her.
So that's 3 out of the 4 founding members of UCB for those keeping track. Yeah, Matt Besser, who was the photographer in the first episode, Ian Walsh, who is a cop, and I think he was like the Marlon Brando guy in the play.
Yes.
And now we have Matt Walsh. All we're missing is Amy Poehler, who I don't think is going to be on this season, but. If they get Amy Poehler, that's all for.
That's so funny. I like to use their friends or colleagues or whatever.
Oh, everyone they cast, I think, is like at least a little related to the UCB community.
Very cool. Very cool. And so she wins, but also the sub storyline of that sub storyline, he's trying to get Undercover Boss.
Yes, that's just a fun runner.
Yes,
that he's constantly. I did like that. If it's to me like when I saw the camera initially, I was like, "Oh, this guy's a pervert."
Yes, me too.
But it turns out he's just constantly recording footage of him
to get a reel
to cut a reel of him being a boss. Which I don't know. How would one audition for Undercover Boss?
I don't know how that works either. Because I thought Undercover Boss. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. I've never been a boss.
You never been. I've been bosses.
Well, I figure if you're a boss, that's when you start researching it. And I haven't been a boss yet, so I haven't bothered.
So she wins that. She comes home. Mark is still there fixing stuff.
Yes, now he's moved on to the shades, the window shades, and he is going to do some roof work.
Yes, which sets up actually for the next arc of this kind of little story. Act 2, which is Mark falls off the roof. And it's funny that when Maggie says the rice thing, which I know, I used to be a nurse, so I know all the things. It's like, and for those of you, rice is rest, ice, compression, elevation. So this whole thing. So he's like,
I take issue with that.
It's when you sprain an ankle.
Well, I take issue with calling it rice because if the I is ice, it seems weird that there's more letters.
But it's like the brat.
Like if it's rest and ice, that's rice.
Well, I didn't make it up. I'm
just saying it's strange. I have some notes.
It's notes. Talk to Grey's Anatomy. I don't know. Talk to somebody about it.
I just rest, ice. We're done. That's rice.
No, you gotta elevate it. So the swelling goes down.
Well, then create new words.
Maybe one day.
I'm going to figure this out.
You figure it out.
I'm going to tell the doctors.
Tell them, don't say this.
Your acronym is problematic.
They'll be like, yeah, okay, whatever. So he decides he wants to go to the hospital, though.
Right.
She's
well, he's having like a mental breakdown.
Yes. And she's like, no, I told you, you're going to tell you exactly the same thing that I told you. And of course, the doctor is he anybody, the doctor? Is he anybody?
I didn't recognize him, but he might be.
Yeah. So he was like, he says the same thing. Right. Blah, blah. He's like, you sure I'm going to live? It was so funny. It's so dramatic. Oh my God, I love it. So basically, he's gonna be fine. He just like hurt. He just like sprained his ankle. And but the doctor says you're a child trapped in a man's body. You need to get that checked out. That was kind of funny.
That was funny.
Funny little line. And
he needs ice chips.
He needs ice chips.
And Mark, which I think is just a pregnant person thing.
Yeah, it's a pregnant person thing.
Yeah. I've also never been pregnant.
Well,
so
that's very good for you.
Once I get pregnant,
good for you. Good for you. Yes. Yeah. But Maggie runs into an nursing school, but we find out she used to. I don't remember the storyline either ever coming up.
I don't know if it did, but she used to be she was in nursing school.
Yeah,
and then she dropped out to. Would you say take care of her brother?
Yeah, well, her parents had. I think her parents passed.
Oh, that's right.
And take care of her brother, and so it's kind of like a serious turn. It was like, well, that's kind of sad.
That actress name is Jean something.
I liked her. She was good. I think it was Michaela was her name.
Well, the character's name.
Yeah, character's name.
She's on a basketball team, the Lucille Ballers.
Oh, that's a great name, Lucille Ballers. Like that.
They're great. Those are great guys. My team's the Pistol Shrimps, for the record, but the Lucille Ballers are also they're great.
I like that.
Yeah.
So she talks about how, oh my God, what are you doing? I've seen you a long time. It just kills me that you're not a nurse. You were so close. So I got a little insight.
And then, Maggie wants to maybe be a nurse.
She's a nurse. She starts thinking about it.
You know, I like that. I want that for her.
But I just thought it was a nice, like a serious kind of moment, like we all go through at some point to reevaluate, like, what are we doing? She has a baby now. It's like, what am I doing?
If she's going to be away from her baby, she said she wants to be doing something she loves.
I love that. Again, it's like great advice. I think it's great advice.
Yeah. Because I've never been a parent myself. I have. I'll research it when I become a parent.
Yes.
But it just seems like that you really do probably want to be with your kid, especially early on, like all the time.
Yeah.
As much as you may hate it sometimes.
Oh, well, yeah. I have been a parent, so I do know. And there's times.
I mean, isn't it like where you can't wait to get away, but then when you're away, that's the only thing you can think about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
That's nice.
They get right in there and get to your heartstrings.
Stupid babies.
Little babies. God bless them. God bless America.
We don't like babies.
God bless them.
Can we go on record as saying that babies are stupid? We don't like them.
Oh, they're kind of cute though.
Just kidding. I love babies.
Yes. So then we have a part that this act was very interesting. So Mark's playing this video game called Fatal Blowout.
Fatal Blowout 2.
2. Thank you. You caught it. So you caught the
sequel to the popular Fatal Blowout. Yeah.
About getting these giant spiders.
Sentient spiders. There's a king spider.
Yes.
They're fine. It's sort of, to me, it was like, what's the movie with Neil Patrick Harris and Denise Richards?
Oh, I'm blanking out.
It's very popular.
Yeah, I'm blanking out right now. It is. Yeah, I'm blanking out what it is too right now. But
the Bugs.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Paul Verhoeven directed it.
Yeah, it's one of those movies. I can't remember what it is. So Emma, playfully challenges Mark that she could do
Starship Troopers.
So there you go. Thank you. Got it out. There you go. I was on the tip of my tongue. So he challenges Mark, and so then so they start playing the game.
Yes, they're playing the game.
Really
together.
get into it.
And then boyfriend calls, and she ignores the call. Mark notices she ignores the call.
He did.
They're having a real good time.
Oh, I had a great time. Just playing around on the couch.
Meanwhile, back at the restaurant,
yes,
Maggie decides that she wants to quit.
Yes.
We discussed this, basically the scene earlier, but Maggie sort of throws her apron in the dumpster. Yeah. I was like, oh no, your money's in there.
Oh. Well, they put it in her pocket beforehand.
Yeah, hopefully she thought about that.
Yes.
But she's like, I'm quitting. So she comes back home early to find Emma and Mark. They sort of were tickling each other. And
you have shark toes. You haven't clipped them.
And it became an almost makeout session.
Yes, sir, it did. I was shocked.
But, interrupted right at the last minute.
Yes.
Isn't that always the way?
Right. I was shocked. I didn't know it was going to go that fast. I didn't know we were going to go that fast to that. I know it's a short season, but I didn't think they were going to really...
Look, they may not get a season 3, and they want to get these guys together. I get it.
Okay.
They're kind of they were on the bubble when they got renewed for season 2. Okay. So it's like I'm sure we got to get these guys together. If we don't get season 3, they're never going to get together. So
okay, I can see that.
let's get these guys together.
Well, they I mean, it was a great scene. It was like, oh, okay.
It was cute and
nice
sexy,
and slapsticky.
it was funny.
Afterwards, and he came off.
And she had to jump off of him, and they had a very nice, awkward goodbye.
Yes, they did.
And I think that was the end of the evening.
There was the next morning. Maggie comes to Maggie's already like folding up the stuff. He left by then. Emma comes down and Maggie starts crying. She wants to be a nurse. Great bit.
Great funny crying. But also, Lennon is so good at being emotionally vulnerable and also still very funny.
Yes.
Both at being sad and angry.
Not easy to do.
She plays it beautifully.
I agree.
And she does it a lot, and it's great. But her, like, I genuinely felt for her when she was crying.
Yeah.
But also the bit about her saying she wants to be a nurse,
And
like, oh, I'm a nurse.
I can't understand. You need to like slow down 6 seconds. And she kept saying it. Oh no, that was a funny bit.
It was great. It was my favorite part of the episode.
Yeah, it was mine too.
It was wonderful.
But you hit the nail on the nail. She conveys several emotions at once really well. And it's just amazing. They can't be easy.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
So I completely.
But she told Emma she wanted to be a nurse, and Emma basically more or less said, "I'll help you out and I'll support you, and friends are friends, and that's what we do." And
so I think it's what people out there were responding to. Now I saw the tweets, and now I'm looking at the show. Now I guess everybody wishes they had a friend like that.
I have a many friends like that.
Oh God.
I have so many friends, just like that.
So I can see why they were responding to it.
You know what? Right before we tape this, my friend Heather Woodward, she's not watching this, did a really nice thing for me. Thanks, Heather.
Oh, Heather.
I'm still riding high on the nice thing she did. I got the text message right before I came in here.
Very
Heather,
nice.
you're not watching, but thanks.
Thanks, Heather. That's very nice.
Yeah, see, many friends.
You almost said a lot. But no.
No, never. I never would speak that way.
I speak that way every day when I say my last name. So there you go. So yeah, so they had a great moment, and they're going to work it all out as they always do. She's going to help with the baby, of course, and all that. So that's kind of good. I mean, it's funny because also the underlying subtext is kind of like they're obviously they're both straight. They're into men, but it's kind of funny how they're like a couple. And it really it's like they're redefining family.
Yeah, and something that they didn't fully address this episode, but that I expect will come up, is if Emma starts dating Mark seriously, she might not want to keep living with Maggie.
I know.
And that's a real conundrum.
I know.
And I hope that we get to see more
Season
of that.
Season three.
Guys, tweet USA. We want a season 3.
That's right. Tweet them because that'd be really fun to see how that goes and how they push their friendship to the test.
I want to see this kid go to college. I love this show.
So do I. I do.
I really love it.
Me too. I completely agree. So then also, Emma lies to Dan. So first she ignores him. Then they're at Rosie's, and he comes in. He's like, "Oh, I thought we were going to hang out or whatever."
He's not long for this world.
I think so either. I think he was just a stepping stone to Mark.
Yeah, he's a sweet guy, but he's not the one.
I don't think he is either.
Mark's the one.
We know Mark's the one. Well, we know he is.
We understand
but
television.
But I felt bad for him, though, that she's lying to him.
Well, I don't think it's the bad kind of lie. I think it's sort of like the gentle lie that you have to tell to...
But how do you lie to a rabbi? Isn't that sacrilege of some sort?
I don't know.
Even if you're dating?
I don't know. I was raised Baptist.
So meanwhile, Maggie's in the back. And again, the running joke. She's like saying goodbye to her boss. He's like, "Okay, I'm acting up. I'm kind of crying now for the real. Can you actually cry too?" So they both are fake crying for the camera. So
for the undercover boss.
Undercover boss. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was just a nice little runner. It was a nice little extra thing.
Yes, I like that.
It was funny.
And he said you have to do one more thing before you leave. And I wasn't really sure where they were going to go with that. I thought it was going to be the motorboating thing. I had a feeling that was going to be it, but they didn't go that direction. And thank God. They decided she had to sing the birthday song one more time.
But she really liked it that last time. She got to sing it to Emma.
To Emma. And it wasn't her birthday, but she sang it to her. It was kind of fun.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever like set up a friend to get like publicly sung to when it wasn't their birthday?
Actually, I've done it for myself once.
Oh, that's funny. What did you do?
Well, I was like, one year, no one took me out for my birthday. It just happened. Things just kind of happened. And I was like, and so it was like June. My birthday's in May. So it was June. I was with some friends, and I said, I'm going to tell them it's my birthday. And they asked me for my ID. I'll say I don't have it or whatever, see what happens. I smoothed them enough that I got sung to in a free cake.
That's great.
In June.
That's great.
Yeah, so I did for me once.
One time in high school, I was in a community theater production of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Oh, how? Okay.
And we all went out to eat at a Mexican restaurant after a rehearsal or something. And the guy who played Schroeder was having a bad day or something. And he's kind of an awkward guy, but like sweet, but like kind of a socially awkward guy. Yeah. Like he fit Schroeder. Okay, yeah. And he was just kind of down, and I was dating the girl playing Snoopy at the time, and she and I went to walked away, and we told the people it was his birthday, thinking he would think it was funny if some people just sang to him. But it turns out at a Mexican restaurant, at least at this Mexican restaurant, they like smear stuff on your face.
Oh my god!
Which they do at other Mexican restaurants, at least in Mississippi. I don't know.
I've never seen it before here. I've never seen it here.
But it's like a thing, and then it came out and they like took out a big thing of whipped cream and like just spread it all over his face, and he hated it.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
It was, but that we didn't know.
You didn't know?
We thought they were gonna sing him a song and bring him ice cream or something.
Maybe we were a sombrero or something, but obviously not.
And also, recently my mother and I went to Disneyland, and I told them it was her birthday, and she had to wear a pen the whole day. Like we were ordering like a breakfast like at one of the little shops, and I said, "Oh, we should get one of those for your birthday." And she went, and I went, "Yeah." And then, "It's your birthday?" And I went, "Yes, it is."
Oh, that's so.
And she just sort of like nodded and was like, "I guess I'm doing it."
I guess you're doing it.
That's and so all day long, little kids were like, "Happy birthday!"
Oh my god! Now that sounds like a skit that would be on the show on Playing House.
It was a fun little treat just to watch children tell my mother happy birthday all day when it wasn't her birthday at all.
Oh my god!
It was great.
So I guess we should go into predictions.
Yeah,
let's go into some predictions because I'm thinking, how many episodes do we have left?
Two. Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So we have 2 episodes left. I mean, I can't believe the season's almost over already. This is really making me sad. One. It was short but sweet. What are you thinking for the last 2 episodes?
Well, they've already set up that she's going to go to nursing school.
Yes.
So I think we see her starting that.
Okay.
And I think we see a Mark relationship blossom. Those are the two things that the only 2 things I can really see that need to get done.
Well, they need, my prediction is we're going to, at least either this next episode or the last one, they're going to bring back on her husband. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen the last couple episodes. Right. They're going to bring him on.
We haven't seen Zach in a while either.
And Zach, too. I think they're going to come back. And then a mom. They have to bring them on at some point to kind of play out a little bit of that, too.
I would love to see like a reunion or an event where they all have to be present.
Because it can't be Charlotte's first birthday yet, right? She's not old enough for that.
I mean, they can do a flash forward or whenever they want.
I guess they could do that. Okay, so I'm going to predict an event. They all have to be back there together.
Yeah, I'd like
on the last episode.
Yeah, I think the finale of the last season was a baby shower or something. Yeah. So not that, but something that they all have to be in the same room and
I agree.
Deal with some issues.
Yeah, I think so.
Or something.
They haven't been on the last couple episodes. So I think they're going to come back. I mean, they're all supporting players that are kind of important.
Yeah, it's not quite like The Simpsons because it isn't that many people, but they do populate their town with a lot of like recurring characters. Mm-hmm. Even like the cops are the same actors play cops even like in both seasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a nice consistency that I appreciate.
In a small town, fictional small town.
Well, in a small town, you do see the same people
over and over
again, so it's nice.
I agree. And that's another episode of Playing House, and that was
we did it.
Employee of the Month. We did it.
We did it like we always do.
Yes, we do.
Killing it.
Yes. So where can they find you?
Guys, you can find me all over the internet.
That's right.
Oh, what's all that noise?
That's your background music.
You can find me at Fisackerly on Twitter. I apparently wrote a few things about Tyler Perry in like 2011. If you want to find those, I don't know if they're worth reading, but that's what we talked about before the show started.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Black Hope LA. You can follow all my media exploits on my Facebook page, James Lott Jr. And I'm doing 2 more shows tonight. I'm doing Impastor at 9, and I'm doing Lachey's Bar at 9:30. So as always, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to AfterBuzz TV, go to iTunes, rate us, talk about us, whatever you want to do. We appreciate all the feedback. Thank you for watching us, and we'll see you again next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.